ready, Lonzo?
Oh, yeah.
I make a motion that we come out of executive session at, looks like 7:50.
Second that.
All in favor? Okay.
Hold on.
Yep.
Yeah.
I make a motion that we advertise for a police chief with the understanding that the position will be filled when a suitable candidate is found.
I second that.
Should I say that again, or you got it, Linda?
Advertise
For a police chief,
police chief with
With the
understanding that position
will be filled when a suitable candidate is found. Any other second?
Okay. All in favor?
You ready for the next one?
yeah. Okay.
I make a motion that we authorize Seer to recruit and hire a reserve officer pool
I second that.
Recruit
and hire a reserve officer pool. That makes sense, right?
Yep.
It's just building up names that can be called on.
All in favor?
I got one more.
Yeah.
I make a motion that in order to facilitate work with the Maine State Library,
In order to what?
facilitate work with the Maine State Library, that we change the title of our librarian to Director of Library.
Director of Library?
Yes.
And I'll second that.
All in favor? Okay.
It just makes, no money change, just makes it easier to make reports. She's got the title to do the report.
Okay, manager's report.
Just a couple things. You guys got a thank you card from Jim Hadley. The retirement gift that you gave him. And then on Wednesday next week, Rustic Agency on Aging is doing their access point at the rec at 8:30. Be great if you guys could start school.
That's our first day of school.
I know that,
Yeah.
but sometimes Joel's let me, I've gone to their things before, and when it falls at the right time, he is allowed to, it's only gonna be about 30 minutes, right?
Yeah, it's
And then-
really quick.
Yeah, because they have to go to Portage after, and so he has allowed me at different points, and I've asked to go to those things, because he knows I've been on that committee right straight ahead.
And if you,
So I haven't
allow
allowed,
me, but Susan might not.
if you can't, just have people come, because I think it's a great thing. I sent you the flyer that they gave me.
So who was it that, did someone inquire for them to come to town to
Oh,
Ashland?
they're going everywhere that day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're going all
They're
over
going
the county.
Portage and.
Well, thanks for letting us know there about that, 'cause, yeah, I mean,
Yeah. Nothing else.
Council items, Gail, do you have anything?
I don't.
I don't either.
Share mine already.
So I had one thing, related to the town garage, or the, town garage, couple things. So one of the dump truck they have, the, wheeler. So I went down, looked at it, and I condemned it from being on the road. So with that, Stacy was wondering, would like to he's trying to clean up. So he was wondering if we would entertain selling some of the older items that they don't use anymore, or want to get rid of. loader is kinda where I thought it was at a few years ago. They have to kinda baby it along to make it work, so he's been looking at, used backhoes to facilitate both jobs. So he was kinda thinking about selling, or however we have to do it, selling or auctioning the, excavator that we bought. And then there's an older bulldozer and a few other things. So anyway, I told him I'd mention it to you, and we get a list together, we kinda make a decision at some point.
So if he would, like, he brings, if he brings a list at the next meeting?
Yeah, that's what I suggested,
There you go.
Yeah, and he had asked me if we had to put it in the paper, because depending on, I reached out to MMA Legal, and they said depending on our ordinances, if it's not in our ordinances, then we can sell it to whoever. If it is, then we'll have to do a bid process, where we'll have to post the equipment in the paper, which, depending on how, I think it's just certain equipment, like, something like the bucket loader probably would have to be listed. But if it's just like spare parts of,
Oh, yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, something like that we could sell, but,
Sure.
any big equipment, I would say we probably have to put a bid in. I was looking for the ordinances today, but I couldn't find them. But I'm not aware if it's in any ordinances.
I don't think we should get rid of the bucket loader, like, we should hang on to it, but there's a few other things,
That could go.
yeah.
I seem to remember at one point when Jim was wheeling and dealing that we did open some bids here. Did we?
We did.
Yeah, we did.
But that was on some equipment that we got through Caribou. Caribou does a lot of wheeling and dealing, and we had the program here for a while. But they jumped on everything, and you had to almost go through them to get it. And
Oh,
we
yeah.
had,
So was the stuff that we sold? 'Cause I
we
thought
had a big
sold
truck with
something.
like a sweeper on a pivot that would sweep either direction.
Yeah.
I can't remember what kind it was, and that went out to bid. Oshkosh, that's what it was.
Okay, so we
And
did,
there was a bucket loader with a cracked block that we ended up with, but that's all stuff we got for nothing by entering this program.
right, and so
But
then
we
we
had
sold it by
to,
bid.
we had to keep it for like 3 years before we were allowed to put it out to bid.
Also, the bus you put up for bid.
Yep.
So, we might have to put an ad in the paper.
Yeah.
We did that with fire stuff too, forever, and
Okay.
ex-cruisers.
Yep.
Yeah, I think
Or
we
for the
probably should
longest
put it in
time.
the paper and
I-
receive, like, sealed bid, whatever, you know.
By a
something.
certain date, I think
Yeah.
that's really smart way to do it.
Yeah.
And we can also post that ad in places that we post the agenda to, so people, not everybody
Do
looks
you,
at the
do you
paper.
put reserves on that stuff, or just?
I guess it would be up to us, if some,
If
I think there's a few things that we probably put a reserve on, but there's some stuff.
There's some stuff that's not worth it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I know other towns have, Fort Fairfield, like, they got a cruiser, they want minimum bid
Yeah.
$500.
Right,
Minimum 5,000.
and it keeps people from throwing a $800 bid in on
Right.
something.
I saw that on a bus somewhere too, which is really.
I'm all for a deal, but I don't wanna screw the town either.
So that's all I had, I guess.
Well, that's good that Stacy wants to clean up over there.
Yeah, I think we just try to fill his role and.
Yeah, show him incentive.
So, yeah, that's it. I was,
I make a motion that we adjourn.
Enthusiastically second that.
all in favor? All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
I think at Christmas time, I could buy all kinds of stuff with all these meetings. Holy crap. Oh.